Hi, Mary. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Oh, it's very nice to see you. Hello.
Why don't you start by introducing yourself and tell us a bit more about Pherosyn and what you guys do?
Sure. So my name's Mary Ellis. I'm the CEO of Pherosyn, and we make identical copies of nature's own pheromones, and we use them in monitoring and control of pests in agriculture.
Fantastic. And let's have a look at the trends perhaps in the last 10 years. What have you seen in integrated pest management that has really sparked your attention or has been really groundbreaking for you?
Well, I think integrated pest management is defined by different people in different ways. And so that's, part of the problem, really. I think that there are some exciting new things happening in the field. I think in particular with pheromones, we're seeing new cost-effective ways to manufacture them. And that's something certainly we're focused on here. But I think that there does need to be more education around integrated pest management at all points in the value chain.
So would you say that, around education, is that one of the barriers that you're seeing for wider adoption of those measures, within in the context of integrated pest management, but perhaps more widely with the reduced inputs and alternative ways for people to control pests and things like that? Are you seeing any other barriers for adoption?
Well, I think education is important across the whole value chain, and that includes with regulators, because obviously the regulations, particularly in Europe and the UK, are quite stringent when compared to North America. It takes a long time to get a product approved for control of pests. And when you compare the amount of pheromone that you use, for example, compared to a pesticide, you're looking at a vastly reduced content. It's so light in its ecological footprint that it can be used in organic farming. So we're talking about vastly different scales on which we're using these products in the field. And I think people need to understand that and understand the impact that has on biodiversity, the very positive impact that has on the ecology and nature. And we need to really embrace that as part of sustainable farming going forward. So that education needs to occur at the farm level, through the supply chain, at the regulation levels, and throughout, really. So yeah, I see that as very important.
Yeah, it's hugely important. I think that's what we're seeing in other areas of the sector. Your wish list for the decade ahead, if we looked back at the decade ahead, how do you see that progressing within the sector?
Well, I think in the decade ahead, we need to really be focused on how we can manage with less inputs into crops. And this is relevant to large-scale farming and also farming in controlled environments as well. So reducing those inputs is of value to biodiversity, but you've obviously got to be able to maintain the yields going forward. So I'm quite excited about the future. I think there's lots of optimism in the industry. I think everybody, not just in farming, but in the wider general public, are embracing sustainability challenges and wanting to find more sustainable ways to manage crops.
And final question, what are you most excited about for the future of agriculture and agri-tech, and what does that mean for Pherosyn?
I am excited about reversing what I have seen as a massive decline in biodiversity. So in my lifetime, we've lost about 70% of the biodiversity on this earth, which is just an astonishing figure, and it really is heartbreaking. That has to be reversed. I know we will do it. We have to do it. And so I'm excited to see that happen, and I'm excited to see people embrace the opportunity to farm with the same kind of yield, the same kind of quality products and food, but actually in a more sustainable manner.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Mary. I think it's all about reversing trends and coming together as a whole, isn't it?
Absolutely right. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your thoughts, Mary.
You're welcome.